This is the Fuel Sports Network.
Behold the king of kings.
We couldn't do diddly poo.
I'm dropping the hammer.
No, you're not.
And that's the bottom line.
Here, have a quarter, make a phone call.
I have wrestled with an alligator.
What?
I done tussled with a whale.
What?
I done handcuffed lightning, throw thunder in jail.
Funky butt loving. Did he say funky butt loving?
There's no crying. There's no crying in baseball.
Let the big dog eat.
Woo! 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 Woo!
So I've realized that there was no audio, and I apologize for that. That really caught me off guard. And Mr. Will Freeman was the first one to text me. He's like, hey, Will the Thrill says, there's no audio coming from your show. Yeah, this is what you get, folks, when you have new formats. I should have checked the comments, right? Yeah, no audio. Can't hear you. Mr. Lathrop, good to see you, my friends. And congratulations on your new position. I'm excited for you. I'm thrilled for you. It's going to be great. You're going to have a great time. And even Mr. Lane himself, the A-Train, chiming in. No audio, but we caught it. Here's the bad thing, and this is what I was getting ready to talk about before I realized that the audio was off, was we were talking about a series of changes and different things that is happening. Well, clearly you just did not hear some of them, so we're going to backtrack. Number one, I'm back. I needed to take some time off. I needed to recharge the batteries, needed to reevaluate. But not only am I back with this very show right here, but I'm also going to be guesting on other shows and doing other things. And we're going to be doing a lot of fun things. There's a lot of changes that had to happen. And, all of them, really for the better. The second thing is what you see behind me. That is not going to last much longer. We are having a remodeling here at the Casa de la King. And this will no longer be my studio. This is going away. It is gone. I will be moving to another location in the compound, and I will have a much bigger studio, and it will be much more centrally located, and I will be able to show off a lot more neat things behind me. And so I wanted to say thank you to everyone that is tuned in. I have an amazing turnout today, and I appreciate that, as I really, really do. I needed to take that time. I really needed it. I knew that in my head, Super Bowl time, post Super Bowl, before spring training, obviously, I was going to make some changes. I was going to make some adjustments, if you will. And I still wanted to stay clean. I still wanted to stay sharp. And I popped in on some shows every now and again. We'll mention some of those right now. The A-Train Show. And you can catch that here twice a week. I believe it's on Tuesdays and Thursdays still. Arlington, you can chime in on the comments there if I am incorrect on that. But, Arlington has had some schedule changes too, and some conflicts that he's had to work through and on that side of things. And so, everything adjusts. Obviously I've popped in on the Friday Night Extreme. I've popped in on X-Fan. I've popped in on a couple other shows that are going to be, back at it. And Mr. Lane right here, and we want to go ahead and pop this up there Tuesdays and Thursdays, as always. And again, this is what I wanted to kind of get across, is this different format. We've been using a streaming platform for the last several years now. I've been using them for the last couple of years, 2-3 years. And they've been a good platform, but was limited. And whenever this had come about to where we were kind of in this position of, do we need to change? We need to make an adjustment. Yeah, we needed to pivot. We needed to make a change because prices were going astronomically through the roof, and it was just not attainable to be able to bring you the quality of content that we wanted to bring you, but still at a certain extent where it's affordable. Because again, this is all paid for out of pocket. This isn't, we don't have, huge sponsorship deals that pay for all of this stuff. We're doing this for the love of it. That's why we do it. And the truth is, and this is, honest to goodness truth. Sometimes that gets difficult. and you have to make tough changes, and you have to make tough decisions, as do we all, when it becomes, an economical decision of how you want to go about doing these things. So there's that. Also, what I wanted to get across was when sports is a really important thing, as to many people, I'm from St. Louis, born and raised in the area, spent 30 plus years of my life living in and around the area. Obviously, I don't live within the metro anymore. I don't live within that market anymore, but I live just outside of it. And, sometimes it's tough. Sometimes it's tough to be able to still coordinate the things that I want to do in St. Louis with that, logistical framing. There's games and things that I want to go to, but sometimes life just gets in the way. And sometimes things are just way too difficult to be able to manage. And so it gets difficult, and it gets very trying on the psyche when you can't perform to the level that you want to perform to. And, especially for all you guys and gals out there in X and YouTube and Facebook and just all the platforms that we're streaming to, and all the things that we do. Thank you. I cannot stress it enough. It's really been a challenge. It's been interesting, that's for sure. But it's been fun. But sometimes it gets to be where it's not fun anymore. And we've all had that. And we are getting to this point now where we're seeing, and I will name some names here. I will start naming some names, and I will say that we've seen an exodus of a lot of terrestrial radio, as we've seen from 101 ESPN, from 590 The Fan, from the Big 550, from even KMOX. And we're just specifically talking about the St. Louis region and the St. Louis market here. This has been nationwide. This has not just been in St. Louis. This has been everywhere. And you're seeing a lot of the terrestrial radio, the heavy hitters, are being phased out. And it's hard to see, being a guy that grew up on terrestrial radio, that grew up on sports talk, that grew up on Howard Stern, that grew up on all those things, to see that go the way that it is. But again, if you don't adapt, if you don't change, if you don't pivot, you get left behind. I saw this, almost 10 years ago with the podcast sphere, where podcasts were really starting to come up and come about. And especially in the sports world, saw it a lot, especially in the political sphere and things of that nature. And then it's really started to take off. And now we got all this vodcasting stuff, and we have multiple different platforms. That's what's always been amazing, to see that growth. And now we're starting to see the terrestrial radio crew that have said, even terrestrial television, nationally televised television and nationally syndicated stuff, that are now starting to go towards that platform. We look at the Kelsey brothers, who have a absolutely just, off the hook show all the time that they're doing. We see the Two Bears podcast, or we see Theo Vaughn, or we see, comedians, and we see sports analysts, and we see all of these different things, and they're doing amazing, guys. They are absolutely killing it. They're doing so well. It's because this is the new formula. When you have a portable device like this, a supercomputer in your pocket, essentially on the go, you can go anywhere. And I could listen to podcasts. I could listen to vodcasts. I can do anything I want to do with that little device right there. That's the change in the format of what we have to do to adapt. And that comes at a cost. And there's, we always kind of like to talk entertainment and stuff. And for those that don't get the joke, look it up. But for those that do, in the Will Ferrell hit movie Talladega Nights, where he says, "If you ain't first, you're last." it's been kind of that way. And it's been getting progressively more and more difficult to be able to stay at that forefront when every single person with a social media account is running out there and creating a show, and rightfully so. If they feel that way, they want to do that. That's just the way that it is. So, it's hilarious to me that you're always going to get the certain group that never want to change and they never want to pivot. And that's perfectly fine. That's all right. You don't want to come off of radio. You don't want to come off of television. Cool. I'm not that way. So at the end of the day, we will continue to change. We will continue to pivot, and we're going to grow, and we're going to compete, and that's what we're going to do. So all that being said, just stay tuned. Make sure that you're on Facebook and you like the page, because we have a group and we have a page. And make sure you're liking the page. We have 30,000+ followers on that page. It's a big page. Go check that out. We have YouTube. We have X. Make sure you're going and liking and subscribing to those pages. And we will be changing. We also still have the website, fuelsportsnetwork.com. That is always something good to go and check it out. Stay up to date of what we're doing and what's going on. And that's where we're going with this. And make sure you tune in twice a week. A-Train show. Got the X-Fan show. We got Friday Night Extreme. B-Hawk Live's coming back. We've got a lot of fun things that are coming. And to all of the individuals, I will use this term as politely as I can, that have so much hatred in their heart for what people do in this sphere. And I'm not just talking here. I'm talking about unilaterally across the board. They always want to trigger you, gaslight you, goad you, right? They want to make you angry. It doesn't work, because it's not one of those things that affects me at all whatsoever. I've had the comments, I've had the post, I've had the messages, I've had all of that stuff. It's not something that affects me whatsoever. The thing that affects me more than anything is making sure that whatever content that we create on Fuel Sports Network is to the absolute premium of what we would expect to see from other platforms and from other creators, content creators. And if we're missing the mark on that, we want you guys to tell us. Be specific. If there's something you don't like, if there's something you see that you're not thrilled with, or something that maybe it just doesn't work for you, hey, go ahead, give us a shout out, send us a message, let us know. Because without the feedback, the several people within the entity, the Spurge, aka Dirty, the A-Train, everyone else has always said and specifically stated that it's very important that we have feedback from the fans, because if we have feedback from the fans, then we know what we're doing right and we know what we're doing wrong. So I just wanted to let you know I'm back. I'm coming back. We're going to be doing more. There's lots more to come. Stay tuned. And don't forget, there's much more to come. And so for myself, I'm signing out for now. But stay tuned. I'll be back, and we'll see how things go. See you guys later. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being a part of it. There's more. Just see. See ya.
This is the Fuel Sports Network.
Behold the king! The king of kings!
We couldn't do diddly